Today's topic is about basal cell carcinoma. It can be asked as an LAQ or an SAQ. This is an important topic. Just listen carefully. Basal cell carcinoma, other names are basal cell epithelioma and rodent ulcer. Why rodent ulcer? Rodent means rat-eaten appearance. The lesion has the rat-eaten appearance, hence it is known as the rodent ulcer. And it occurs in the sun-exposed areas of the body, especially face, skin and scalp. It occurs mostly in the middle-aged or early adulthood, occurs in the fair-skinned persons and has slow-growing tumor. It is a slow-growing tumor and has rare metastasis. It has local destruction and causes severe disfigurement. Coming to the etiology of basal cell carcinoma, UV radiation, especially which are shorter wavelength, from 290 to 320 nanometers. This is an important point. Just remember this point. Okay, and it has long latent period, that is 20 to 50 years. Next, X-ray exposure, arsenic exposure, immunosuppression, mutation in T53 gene and pluripotent stem cells in the basal layer are responsible for the basal cell carcinoma. This X-ray exposure, arsenic exposure and immunosuppression, these are the predisposing factors. The multiple basal cell carcinomas are associated with two conditions, that is xeroderma pigmentosa and nevoid basal cell carcinoma syndrome. This is an important question. Just remember for the viva, or you can get as a multiple choice question. Coming to the clinical features of basal cell carcinoma, it occurs in the fourth decade of the life and male is to female ratio is 3:2. It occurs in the fair-skinned persons and middle third of the face is most commonly affected. Clinically, there are 6 subtypes of basal cell carcinoma. They are nodular basal cell carcinoma, pigmented basal cell carcinoma, cystic basal cell carcinoma, superficial basal cell carcinoma, micronodular basal cell carcinoma, and morphiform and infiltrating basal cell carcinoma. First, coming to the nodular basal cell carcinoma, it initiates as a papule with a central depression, later ulcerates and heals, and later breakdowns. So, the minor trauma to this lesion causes bleeding because of the presence of telangiectatic blood vessels in the tumor. And this nodular basal cell carcinoma shows repetitive attempts to heal. And clinically, nodular basal cell carcinoma appears as a crusting ulcer which has the smooth rolled borders, and these smooth rolled borders, they indicate tumor cells spreading laterally, and this tumor invades the underlying tissue. Nodular basal cell carcinoma invades the underlying tissue. Coming to the second type, pigmented basal cell carcinoma, it has all the features of nodular basal cell carcinoma. In addition to this has brown to black pigment. So this occurs mostly in the dark skinned individuals. Coming to third type, cystic basal cell carcinoma, this shows translucent bluish grey cystic nodules. Coming to the superficial basal cell carcinoma, it occurs due to exposure to arsenic, remember this point, and appears as scaly patch or plaque with central clearing and thread-like borders. And the lesions show erosion in the underlying tissue and invasion in the underlying tissue can be seen, and it has slow progression. Coming to the micronodular basal cell carcinoma, this is aggressive in nature and less prone to ulceration. It has yellow to white in color and it is firm in consistency, and there are well-defined borders for the lesions. Coming to the morphiform and infiltrating basal cell carcinoma, these are the most aggressive in nature and sclerotic plaques or papules can be seen, ill-defined borders can be seen, and there are no ulceration, no bleeding and no crusting of the lesion, and often extends well beyond the clinical margins. Coming to the differential diagnosis of morphiform and infiltrating basal cell carcinoma, actinic keratosis, Bowen's disease, keratoacanthoma, melanocytic nevi, sebaceous hyperplasia, seborrheic keratosis and squamous cell carcinoma. All these comes under differential diagnosis of the basal cell carcinoma.